What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dueling Aces for May 20th, 2024 on a nice warm scorcher over here near the CLE or North Central Ohio. It's this warm. The hair has been taken down quite a few notches because, man, it is hot. With me tonight, Sam, because I got some fellas on the IL, the DL, the IR, whatever you want to call it. Got some peeps down. Made the call, said, give me the lefty. So, Sam from Birds of the Gridiron, thank you again for popping in and joining us. Appreciate it, as always. We love having you on.
Always.
Love having you on.
As long as we don't have what happened last week, we should be okay.
And those who missed it, you'll have to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah.
Zold even said, always good to have a solid reliever on deck.
No. No, ironically, the best part of that last week was when he literally, his only sentence was, I came back just for that.
Right.
So basically, since we're on the baseball reference, I wouldn't say I'm like Mariano Rivera. Trust me, I'm not that kind of a guy. I think I'm more like the David Robinson. Wherever you need me, I'm just right there.
Well, I know that you're heavy on your Philadelphia Eagles podcast, which is on 5:30 on Mondays right now, Birds of the Gridiron. But I do know that you are a huge baseball fanatic as well. And tonight's topic, I've been wanting to hit at ever since they put in the stupid clock. And sure enough, the numbers are getting worse. And I took about 20 minutes today, and I went through and I counted all of the pitchers. We have 296 pitchers injured on a 30-60 day DL due to arms.
I was going to say, I'm looking at the show description, and I just saw that. I was going to ask you, is that an accurate number, or did you just make that up? Oh, my gosh.
Nope. I looked it up. I was on ESPN's IR list today, and I started counting through and checking it, and I was like, whew, that's a lot. That is a lot of pitchers. And the team that's hurting the worst, the Cubs with 11. Yeah. I was like, wow.
It's half your pitching staff.
Yeah.
That's literally 3/4 on a pitching staff. I mean, you've got your
mic's going a little watery, Sam.
My mic cuts out all the time. I don't know what that's wrong with it.
Just want to let you know.
Trust me, I'm aware.
Okay.
It also possibly could be the fact that I'm trying to stay a little farther back from it because my laptop is now like literally on the edge of my desk because I have a camera behind it. Because if I put the tripod on the ground, it literally catches too much of the wall.
It's like you're not meant to see this. Do not look at the man behind the curtain.
Do not look at the man behind the curtain. So yes, if my mic cuts out, I apologize.
No problem. So yeah, like I said, this is literally, I believe this is the worst. I mean, I'm listening to just basic radio this morning, and they were talking about the Cleveland and how, they've got a couple guys in, and he goes, man, he said, there's just too many pitchers this year already that are injured so fast. And I'm just like, here we are, folks. I told you it wasn't going to take long. How much longer are they going to turn around and keep this stupid clock?
Okay, so here's the thing. The clock's not going anywhere because they're going to make up their BS analysis that, oh, well, the clock is working. It's bringing in more fans. No, it's not. Do you want to know what brings in baseball fans? The same thing that brings in basketball. All right, George, let me ask you this. You're a Ohio native. Let me ask you a question. When LeBron James first left the Cleveland Cavaliers the first time, right?
Yep.
Did fans care to show up and watch that product for the first couple of years when they were terrible?
No.
There you go. When NFL teams go 0-16, sorry, Zol, like the Lions did.
Oh, the Browns did too. The
Okay,
Browns did too.
Look, I'm not going to go all after Ohio because Adam may see this, and he may come after me again, and I don't need more problems with Adam. Okay, he may just jump over 10 seconds, give me a very nice hand gesture, and bounce. It's just how it make out. So look, I know you guys are Ohio, so is Detroit. I'll just go with both. So, but you see my point though. You're going to only get fans back when the product is good. I've been a Phillies fan my whole life. And I'll tell you now, I was a season ticket holder from 2009 to 2015. From 2009 to 2012, that team was in the playoff every year. They were World Series contenders. They were NL contenders. We sold that place out. The Phillies sold out every game at Citizens Bank Park for 5 straight years. As soon as that era ended with Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, and Ryan Howard, they were rebuilding. They were the worst team in baseball. You barely got 20,000 people in that ballpark. No one cared about rules. They cared because the team was bad. Now, for one, outside of the injury aspect, George, we're going to bring it up later. The clock is not noticeable to the fans' eye view anymore. You don't fixate on it unless you're trying to. So I don't have an issue with it as a fan. As for the players, though, the fact that there are almost 300 pitchers that are currently up, that's a problem. And it's almost like they don't care. They just want the fans to come back. But really, that's not why fans are coming back. Fans are coming back because teams are playing well. Phillies are the best team in the league. That's why the fans are back. The Yankees are the Yankees. That's why their fans show up.
And right now, Cleveland is Cleveland, and that's why the fans are showing up.
Yes.
Like you said, winning means everything, and that's why they'll be there now. I mean, look at the Kansas City Royals. They're right behind Cleveland. And it's like, okay. And then you look at, and you just covered the national side. So it's like, yeah. I mean, right now it's early. It is technically still early. And it's everybody, some people are like, wow, we'll wait and see. And others are like, no, they're winning now. So, we're good.
Actually have MLB.com's power rankings and for the top 10 if anyone's interested.
Shoot. Go for it.
So we've got number 10, Seattle. Number 9, the Cubs. The Royals coming in number 8. Love seeing that, by the way. Number 7, we got the Brew Crew over there in Milwaukee. At number 6, we have the Guardians. At number 5, we have the Braves. I have a very, very, very big hot take about that. Number 4, we have the Orioles. Number 3, we have the Yankees. Number 2, we have the Dodgers. And number 1, we, of course, have my Philadelphia Phillies. Let me ask you something, George. I have a gripe. I think we both are going to have some gripes here with this. Let me just ask you a question. What place are the Guardians in?
First,
What place are the Braves in?
yeah, third, I believe, right? Are they
No,
third?
I believe they're second behind. Yeah, they're 5 behind the Phillies. They're for second.
Oh, they're now in second.
So,
Okay.
so answer me this: how is a second place team better than a first place team?
Oh, because it depends on who you've played so far.
No, it doesn't. Hold on, hold on, hold on,
Mm,
hold on. In the NFL, you can make this argument. Every team in baseball eventually is going to play each other.
yeah,
And
like
the
right
Braves,
now, like right now, the Mets are playing in Cleveland.
yeah,
I would love to turn around and have caught Mr. Alonso, over
yeah,
here in
right.
Seatown. I'm like, man, talk about an opportunity missed. Darn it. That kind of stinks. I was like,
But yeah, I don't like. And look, I have been guest appearing on another podcast for the past few weeks, and they do a bunch of Phillies post game shows. I've been on there with them a few times, and I bitch and complain about the schedule junkies all the time. If you want to talk about the NFL scheduling and saying teams don't play a good team, like everyone said that about the Eagles in 2017. Oh, they didn't play anybody. Now they're going to go to get beat in the Super Bowl. Well, they beat New England, so. But like I can understand that because not every team plays each other. But in baseball, every team plays each other. Is it my fault that the Miami Marlins are the worst team in baseball? No.
no,
Is it my fault that the New York Mets have no pitching? No. Is it my fault that the Washington Nationals let Bryce Harper become a Philly? No.
but you're loving it. And Trey
I
Turner.
and Trey Turner.
That's my other dude. I like him too. Like, man, like how the heck did you guys get away with that murder?
They may be getting him back sooner than expected. He's ahead of schedule in his rehab. He's been running and taking swings before games over the past few weeks. So hopefully they're signaling a Trey Turner return within the next couple of weeks.
That would be good.
Yeah. But with hamstring injuries, you got to be careful. They're very
Yeah,
tricky.
100%. 100%. And it's also kind of like, the Houston Astros a couple of weeks ago were down in the basement too. All of a sudden they're 8-2, and I'm like, darn it, who let them out of the basement?
Oh man, beat them up a little more. Well, they're currently losing 9-6 to the Angels right now. So
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I think they hit like a super weak part of the schedule all of a sudden, and they got on a
yeah,
little hot streak. Early, like I said, this early on, I think a power ranking means absolutely nothing.
it doesn't.
Nothing.
It
Nothing.
doesn't.
Because it depends on, technically, I think it does depend on who you've played. I mean, if Cleveland sits there and plays the White Sox 2 series already, they're still in the damn basement. It's just like, okay, that's a butt whooping. That's like a high school team playing a freaking elementary school squad. Come on. It's like, oh, thank you for the 6 free games, or it's 7. Thank you. We'll just add that and pad our stats. You know,
And
but
if, like, here's a good one for you. The Phillies, all of last season, they only had 7. Mind me, they had 7 series sweeps in 2023. They've already got 6 this year.
yeah, that team is just, it's like this year has to be it. It has to be.
I'm not telling me that.
It has to be. I mean, they are built for it right now. They are totally built for it.
They are. I mean, look, I don't like to toot my own horn, but there's nobody that can give you better insight on Philly teams than me. I know everything, ins and outs, everything that goes on in each of these teams, except the Union side of soccer. But anyway, they always have the lineup. But the fact that this team's starting pitching is this good, they're 6 deep into their rotation. Even though I'm not a big Taiwan Walker fan, but Zach Wheeler has been Zach Wheeler. Aaron Nola re-signed, new deal, looks sensational. Ranger Suarez is probably going to win the Cy Young if he continues at the pace he's at. Christopher Sanchez has been absolutely phenomenal. And Spencer Turnbull and Taiwan Walker, I mean, Turnbull was pitching better than Walker has, but Walker right now is undefeated. He's 3-0. And Turnbull was amazing before he went to the bullpen. I mean, if this team's got at least 3 or 4 of those starters going like this going into late in the season, you're not getting this lineup out consistently 3 times in a row. It's impossible. It's just every night. Someone new beats you every night. One night, Bryce Harper's going to have 3 RBIs. The next night, Alec Bohm's going to drive in. Like Alec Bohm drove in 5 runs on Sunday. Bryson Stott's batting like 390 over the past 2 weeks. Castellanos had 3 hits a few games ago. Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs and you'd be up big. It's a consistency of someone else is going to beat you. Since Trey Turner, when Trey Turner went down first, JT Realmuto got moved up to the 2 spot. He had 3 consecutive 3-hit games. It's a new hero every night. And it's not even just them. It's not just the stars. It's the backup players. It's Edmundo Sosa, who's got a 460 on-base percentage since Trey Turner went down. It's Cody Clemens, who is better. Here's the funny thing. Cody Clemens has only about 20 plate appearances and has only 1 less RBI than Ronald Acuna.
Huh.
But his team is built for the whole season. They're built for October. Like you said, if it's not this year, you got to start asking them, well, when is it going to be that?
Right.
Because this is the year.
Yeah, it has to be. It 100% has to be. I mean, technically, you'd almost say that you could turn around and pull it off 2 or 3. You know, you guys have definitely got a team built like what the Yankees did back in the 90s. You technically on paper, you have that.
Yeah.
You scarily have that. And it would be so much fun to see you beat up on the Yankees doing it too. I'm just saying.
I'm going to tell you this right now. The biggest, most important 3 things that have come out of this team this year. Well, actually, no, there's 4. The one has been the starting pitching because, like, you know what Zach Wheeler's going to give you. You know what Aaron Nola is going to give you, and you kind of know what Ranger Suarez is going to give you. But the fact that Ranger Suarez has hit that next level, and now Christopher Sanchez is starting to hit his potential, that's why they're this good. But then, not only that, you have Trey Turner coming back this year, more confident. Trey Turner was batting 350 before he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Remember last year? We had to give him a standing ovation in August to get his confidence back. And it ended up propelling us into a solid run. But not only that, it's Bryce Harper finally being healthy since what happened in 2022 with the elbow injury. He's finally got to go through spring training, get all the kinks out early, be there on opening day, and we're seeing who he is. Bryce Harper is, I don't care. I will debate this till I'm blue in the face. I debate it with Mets fans because I'm freaking in the area of Mets fans and they're everywhere. Why they exist, I don't know. Bryce Harper is one of the 5 best players.
I'm just saying, I root for one dude and one dude only.
Oh, I love Pete. Who doesn't love Pete?
That's Pete.
That's the
only reason why I've got a Mets, even anything Mets, is because of Pete.
Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. My favorite all-time Mets player was David Wright. I love me some David Wright. But Bryce Harper, when he's healthy, without argument, is a top 5 player in all of baseball.
No, I don't disagree with that.
Oh, yeah, you don't. But some people do. There are people. And
yeah, there are people that do some heavy drinking too.
That's very true.
You know, there are people who do some heavy drinking too.
But the biggest thing of what they've done this year, it's been the development of Alec Bohm, who is hitting 330, who leads Major League Baseball with 42 RBIs. Here's a little backstory real quickly. Alec Bohm last year was batted anywhere between 6 and 7 in the lineup because he was like one of the younger players, right? They have all those veterans, like, you have your Harpers, your Castellanos, your Realmutos. Well, last year, Rob Thompson in the playoffs decided to bat Alec Bohm cleanup. And cleanup in the Phillies lineup is the most valuable spot in the lineup because what is your job? To protect Bryce Harper. Because if you're not hitting well, Well, then why are they going to pitch to Bryce Harper? I've never seen a player pitched around so much in my life than Bryce Harper, outside of Barry Bonds. Bryce Harper's pitched around, and I'm talking, I don't see people pitching around Acuna like this. I don't see Juan Soto getting pitched like this. Hell, I don't even see Aaron Judge get pitched like this. Bryce Harper gets pitched around more than any player in baseball. And that's the great thing with Alec Bohm. Not only is he batting 350, he's batting 375 with runners in scoring position. Because if Harper's on, someone's on base. Alec Bohm developing himself into a true cleanup hitter is helping his team more and more because it gives Bryce Harper pitches to hit. And I'm not going to lie, when he gets a pitch to hit, it goes pretty freaking far.
Yes.
Just half the time.
Yep. Yep. Yes, it does. Which is why my Bryce loves Bryce Harper.
Raise them well, Georgie. Raise them well.
All right, let's get to the pitchers because speaking of the pitching, man, the number still astonishes me that we know this number is going to go up, which should scare everybody. I know that the Players Association already had mentioned something a few weeks ago that they're getting tired of this clock because they've got so many injuries. And it's just like, okay. I also saw about the Cardinals manager giving the umpires a bunch of grief because they can't get the calls right. And it's just like these umpires are like, well, you've got a challenge. And the guy literally is saying to him, no, you need to do a better job. I shouldn't have to challenge if you get the calls right. And guess what? That's just leading into that little robo umpire thing. Keep it up, fellas, and you guys will be out of a job too. Just like at a toll booth, at the toll booth right now, you got a little box that's a little computer box attached to the windshield. You don't even need a toll booth person no more. Hell, it's self-serve in a few of the machines on the Ohio Turnpike right now. They don't even need anybody. Nobody. You don't need a person anymore. That's lost jobs. Modern technology taking over. Well, guess what? Modern technology taking over in baseball. Warning. What are you going to do next? You're going to put robots pitching next?
Pitching machines. Not pitching machines. I just well, look at last week.
You've seen the Jetsons. You've seen the Jetsons. Come on. Robots playing baseball, robots playing football. The human aspect has been taken out of the game.
Okay.
Baseball, you put a clock in. Baseball never had a clock. It should have stayed that way. Baseball screwed the pooch.
First of all, let me just say, I would love to see a Jetsons MLB umpiring edition so I can just hear, "Hey, Charlie, get in here." But let me just start out with saying that as a fan who takes in a lot of baseball, I mean, I'm pretty sure you see me on Facebook once a week. Oh, Sam's back at the bank park again.
Yep.
Oh, Sam's back at the bank. All right, Sam, do you ever not go? Do you ever not?
That's why I said you were the perfect person to talk about this with.
As a very diehard fan, for one, I have no issue as a fan with the pitch clock, because I will be honest, I don't even notice it half the time. However, I grew up old school. I grew up with old school baseball. If fans are that annoyed because of the length of the game, let's say it right into my camera. If you don't like the length of a baseball game, I advise you to do this. Don't go. I'm going to now go on to saying about the ghost runner at second base. Oh, so we don't go 17, 18 innings. Let me tell you a story real quick. I went to a baseball game in 2011. It was the Phillies and the Cincinnati Reds. The game went 19 innings. I had got home at 4 a.m. and I freaking went to school the next morning. I watched Wilson Valdez, a second baseman, not only pitch in the game, he got the win in the game. Oh, we don't want to sit through that many innings. Leave. You have your right to leave. If you don't like the sport and the way it is played, then don't watch it. It's just that simple.
I agree 100% with that. 100%. I'm sorry. If I'm going to the ballpark, watching Bryce, it's just like, you want to watch the kids play. You go to the park, we got parents who bring, they're bringing their coolers, the little wagons, they're bringing, snacks, their drinks, whatever. And they're there having a good time, chilling in a park, watching a ball game. Do you think they're worried about time limit?
Oh,
No. That's the last thing from their minds is a time limit on the baseball game. They are there to watch some baseball. Like tonight, it went 7. Tonight, it was a 4-1 game. It was exciting every single inning, every single one. Getting a lot of hits, not too much on the scoring aspect side for us, but we got a lot of hits. Heck, Bryce dropped another bunt. Who else? There was I think it was Tyler. Tyler got a bunt. We had about 2 or 3 kids who dropped bunts tonight, and it was like, wow. All right, we can play some small ball. Hello, that's a new arsenal to have. To notice that, hey, these guys can put bunts. All right, cool. You know, it's part of the fun of the game. Just kick back, relax, as like we like to say, kick back, relax, and enjoy the audible ride.
exactly. And so here's the thing. I think a lot of my old school with baseball is off of pure emotion because I did not grow up a baseball fan. I was raised as a baseball fan. My grandfather and I loved baseball. I was okay, just stupid story. I was born home on when I was born home on Mother's Day. You know how much time I spent with my actual mother that day? Probably about 10 minutes because my grandfather was holding me the whole day watching the Phillies. That was
Yeah,
what my first did in my home. And the house I live in, that was the first memory I have in this home. I sat with my grandfather and watched a baseball game. He took me to my first baseball game. He bought me season tickets for Christmas when I was 13. And I will tell you now, the most joyous memories I will always save for my grandfather, may he rest in peace, was every damn inning of baseball that I got to watch with him. So for the people that say, oh, it's too long, think about stuff like that because those are the things you don't get. Guess what? Those things you can't take and bring back. So those are the memories that people create. Baseball is a sport of making memories with people you care about, not for speed and freaking, oh, I got to get out of here. If you want to go to a game and you got to get out of there, then just don't go. It's not that freaking hard of a decision. What do we need baseball to make life decisions now for us?
no. And you brought up something really cool about the memories thing. We have one of our players the other night, or I'm sorry, a week ago. He was actually the starting pitcher for the. He pitched the game, and he turned around and hit a home run 305 feet, cleared the fence. And it wasn't his first one, but it was the first one for this season. And I said, that was pretty damn cool. And his dad was, of course, over the moon about it. He was like, this is just too damn cool, you know. And I said, it's a special memory that you get to turn around and you get to have, that you got to see your kid do, And I said, God knows I've got a lot of those with Bryce, and you want to have more of those, and that's what the old school mentality, I think, is being lost in it. I mean, right now, how many times do you see on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter or whatever it's called now, the reels, you see the kid, on the phone or on the tablet, not paying attention. Oh, baseball bat. Oh, dad saved him. Oh my God. Well, hey, dad, tell the kid to put the damn phone away. You're there to watch a ball game. You want to sit there and talk to your friends, you know, get up, go talk to your friends. You know, don't be on the phone or on your tablet. It's like, dude, there's a ball game being held in front of you. You paid. They were lower level, so guess what? You know that dad paid out the nose, and the kids on an electronic device. Hell no, no. You you know, it's those kids that got raised that way. You know, basically, oh, I'm bored. It's taking too long. Well, now those guys are in charge, going, hey, we're going to institute a pitch clock. We're going to institute a clock. We need to make it happen faster. I don't want to be there all day. Screw you. That's the whole point of it. You could be
Exactly.
there almost all day. You know, like you said, 18, dude, you got 2 games. You get to watch 2 games, literally a back-to-back doubleheader. Come
That's
on.
twice.
I mean, you got your money's worth and then some. Shoot.
I've done it twice. I sat through 19 innings in 2011 and 18 innings in 2013.
Yeah, it's that's the fun of it. Leave it
Yes.
alone. Leave it alone. What was it? Leave it the hell alone.
It's
This
just
time,
ridiculous.
the time clock thing is just absolutely it's wrong. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
and now let's go more into the aspect of pitching with this, because this is something that I want to I can ask you because you got plenty of experience with it. You tell me this every time we talk. How hard right now does your kid throw, George? How hard does Bryce throw right now?
Right about 70.
Okay. So you're taking a bunch of guys, grown men now, that since they were probably Bryce's age, throwing 70 miles an hour, then upping it to 80 miles an hour, then upping it to 90 miles an hour, now upping it to 98 miles an hour. So not only have these guys had to have to continue to develop their arm to throw a speed, which, by the way, is not really supposed to be normal for the human body to do.
Nope.
So now instead of giving their arm a few extra seconds of recovery, now we have to speed them up. You're begging injuries. If I was an if I was an arm specialist, I'd be calling baseball like, I'll be your doctor. I'll be rich by the end of the freaking week.
Oh, 100%.
It's a shame I believe Dr. James Andrews, who was like the head elbow surgeon for most of it's a shame he retired. He picked the wrong time. I mean, could be he'd be Elon rich right now. He may be
Oh,
richer than Elon.
Dr. James Andrews is that rich.
He'd be
Dr.
more.
James Andrews is that rich. Not only did he take care of baseball, he took care of football, also took care of WWE and hockey and basketball. He's covered everybody. That dude that dude was so famous. It was he couldn't keep an appointment. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. When do you need to be seen? Do you have 45 seconds, Doc? We got another one for you. I don't know how the dude made it. It was absolutely, I mean, for him specifically, outstanding that he was, he's that good and he was needed that much. It's like you need to clone him like 3 or 4 times because it's just getting stupid at this point.
It's ridiculous what it is. That's the main. It's just ridiculous, and they're just going to keep getting these guys hurt. Now, luckily, some of these guys have responded well to the pitch clock, and like the other thing I can't say, like, oh well, the batter and pitcher have to come to an eye engagement with 8 seconds. What are we on a first date? Like what?
Yeah, now the this is where the rules are getting stupid, and this is where I'm sorry, but you're not a baseball person. Get out. Just get the hell out of the room. That is the
Exactly.
dumbest damn rule. No, it's you got to just take these youngins and take them by the ear, drag their butts out of the room, and go get the hell out of here. Give them a swift kick in the ass down the hall. Get out. Stop making stupid damn rules. Eye engagement. Get the hell out of here.
That's the thing. If I'm a hitter, if I'm a professional hitter, I'm going to walk up to that umpire and say this: "Look, I'm not. If I wanted to go have eye engagement, I'd go on Tinder. If I wanted to do some engagement stuff, okay. Here's what I'm going
I'd
to tell you.
swipe left or swipe.
Yeah, I swipe.
Swipe
Yeah,
left or swipe right.
it's left. It's left.
Whatever it is. Whatever it is.
It is what it is. That's why I don't. That's why I don't associate with those things. But anyway,
Whatever those kids are doing nowadays.
yeah, honestly, well, so if I was the hitter, I'm going to say, look, I'm not looking at it with 8 seconds left, so you can call strike one. I'm not going to engage him on this one either, so call strike two. Now I'm going to engage him, and I'm going to take him 400 feet to dead center. Good night. Leave me alone. That's exactly what I would say if I was a hitter.
And I know there's the whole ordeals with the umpire, with certain umpires and their calls, but there are some of these umpires. It's just when you're coming up now and you're being trained and taking umpire classes, there's the whole traditional set of rules that you have to know, but now you've got the stupid who are controlling the rules and going, hey, add this to your repertoire. And even the umpires are got to be sitting there going, what are we supposed to do for that again? Because it's that stupid.
But that's the thing. If we're going to have all these stupid rules in place, can the guys that are supposed to uphold the rules know what the rules actually are? I mean, for crying out loud, when I was on the show with you guys last week, I watched the umpires get together because they forgot what the count was.
Which is horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Like, let's act like we've done this a few times, guys. Come on.
Yeah, and it's like, hello, do you not have your little clicker in your hand? Really? Really? You don't have your little clicker in your hand.
So it's why you brought it up. What's your opinion on the pitch com that the pitchers are wearing their hats and the catchers have on their legs now? What's your opinion on that?
I'm sorry, the pitch what?
The pitch com. It's something that the catcher has to get signs to the pitcher without using his hands. The pitchers all wear them in their hats.
I'm sorry, you got to remember that I did ban baseball, so I had no clue about this one.
Okay, so
since you did what? They did. Excuse me.
Okay. So
I have a whole baker's rack of rum over here. You know that, right?
All right, so let's play a little game with this, okay? I'm going to explain this to you, and I'm just going to sit back, like you say, kick back and relax and watch you rant. So let me explain this to you first. Then I will let the floor will be yours. So basically, here's what a pitch com is. It is something that a pitcher wears in their hat, like in their ear, so they can. It's basically like a sensor thing. The catcher can either put it on their thigh or their leg, and they use that to relay the signs to the pitcher. This became a major thing after the Astros sign stealing crap because of catchers being concerned, like doing all the signs and stuff. So that is basically what a pitch com is. So I'm just going to get comfortable real quick because I feel like this is going to be good.
Why not just have a damn Bluetooth wireless earpiece in the ear, and the manager can just have his little helmet on, just like the football coaches, and have their little card covering their mouths and just say, hey, pitch this one. I mean, really, if we're gonna flip and go that far, we might as well just put the damn thing in his ear You could probably even have the damn headset in the catcher's helmet, and he could sit there and go, "Hey, 2-1-2," and just code it. Okay, pitcher hears him going, "Yep, okay, we're good. Let's do that." Boom. Why the hell not? Come on, man.
All right.
Seriously.
I
For
just
the,
looked it up because
I mean,
I
it's
want I want to look this up because I want to make sure I explained it correctly to you. So here's how it's said on Wikipedia, and you're gonna lose your freaking mind even more, and I'm gonna sit back and relax. PitchCom is a
Sam, there
wireless.
isn't much hair here, okay? And it's already going gray. I'm gonna have to just go bald. It's gonna be all bald. It's just gonna be one shiny ball.
Let's see how you feel after I read this. So here's the definition of it, basically. PitchCom is a wireless communication system used in baseball that lets a player request pitches without using visible signs. Major League Baseball approved the use of PitchCom before the start of the 2022 season with the intentions of deteriorating sign stealing and quickening the pace of play. George, can you throw this on me or are you just quiet?
Oh, good Lord, have mercy. Unbelievable. I got nothing. I got nothing. I got nothing. That is just the sickest. I mean, oh, again, quicken up the pace of the game. No, I'm gonna go a little off script here. Don't know how much of a Star Trek DS9 fan you might be.
So just go
I
ahead.
I'm a big fan. Even in the first pilot in the pilot episode, the um the anomaly of the wormhole effect that they used to travel through. These alien beings, non-sentient beings, were trying to understand about humanity and time and existence. And what they did was, and what is one of my favorite things, is that Cisco turns around, and one of the memory things that the alien beings bring up or bring him into talking to him and the way to communicate with him is a baseball game. And he explains to them about chance and what the baseball and what the odd, you never know what's going to happen. It's a game of chance. And it's strategy, and it's like a game of chess, and the way that they went through it and compared baseball to existence, it was fantastic. And there's no time involved. And that's what they were saying. There's no, you've got time, and it's like you're supposed to have time in existence for this game. You by you speeding it up, you're trying to control something that you don't have control over. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You are trying to speed up something that nobody actually has control over, and you're trying to rush it. You're trying to force it to happen, and it cannot happen because it's not going to even happen the way that you would hope that it would happen, or the way that you want it to even try to get close to happening. You cannot do it. It's just not being able to be done. The injuries noted right up there in the title, 296 pitches. That's hitting 300 within the next 2 weeks. It'll hit over 300
Suckler.
because you're forcing You are forcing the game to be played. You are forcing it to be played faster. It is not meant to be played at a timed rate. It never was, and it never should be.
No, the base runner engagement rule.
I'm gonna have nightmares about this. You know that, right?
Okay,
I didn't even know that was an existent rule. That's just
would you like me to explain it?
oh god.
So the base runner engagement rule is a pitcher is only allowed to throw over per inning 3 times. If he is unsuccessful on the third time, the runner is awarded said base he would be attempting to steal. So basically, if you'll pick a guy off in 3 opportunities, you are rewarded a base. Then they can. This gets better. Do you know how some players, when they up like second baseman, guy stealing, what are you trying to do? Prevent him from stealing the base, right? So they're trying. They remember how some infielders, like I don't know, like they would put their leg or something in front of the runners, like Chase Utley. He would catch the ball. He would put his glove right between the bag and the guy's foot. But now, if you try to put your leg to block the base from the runner, you are automatically being called safe because it's now illegal to block the base.
Well, I thought it was illegal to block the base to begin with.
Well, there wasn't, yeah, but there wasn't really a rule about it. Now you're not allowed to. Every time now it's automatic safe call.
And I remember there was an article that somebody said they were it was something where the catcher also, once the pitch came, the catcher was also trying to get the guy out at first base, but that constituted as one of the 3 tries. And I was like, well,
I
that's a
forget.
bunch of crap.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Well, and
I'm
then of
like,
course, we got to go. Then we got to go. Let's go back years ago to the Buster Posey situation and the catcher blocking the plate.
and see, that is still such a hard thing. And trust me, as a guy who had Buster Posey on his fantasy baseball since like year one when I had my team, phenomenal catcher, awesome catcher.
Yeah,
But yeah,
absolutely.
that was one of the strangest things ever. Of where's the give and take on that? It's like, okay, you've got to be standing a certain way, but yet when you go to move in to make the tag, it's like, oh, well, he was blocking. It's like, yes and no. I mean, because he's got to come in and have an angle to block said guy from getting to the base. It's like you can go reach up to get to him. It's like, oh, well, he's blocking. No, your dude definitely wasn't getting there in time and he's getting tagged out. It's not that he was blocking, it's that your guy's super damn slow and got thrown out.
Yeah.
You know, that that's a very tricky
And then you
situation
got to
that
look.
I've always been very cautious about, especially for the catchers. I mean, we've seen a lot old school, us going back to old school. We've seen a lot of guys get trucked.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how many Piazza, my man, dude, check yourself into for concussion protocol, brother, because I know your butt got rolled a few times. And it's like he got smoked. And a few times it's like he popped up and is just like, dude, I don't think he knows what planet he was on a couple times. I think he definitely got hit out. I don't know how those guys were doing it. And especially because they don't have like the newer protective equipment they do nowadays, using the hockey helmets format, for their catcher's gear versus
And
the
then
old
they're just
school,
strapping woods to their bodies.
the old school way. Those guys, whew, I'm telling you, That was no joke. That was no joke. So yeah, that rule, that one, that's kind of iffy with me. That one I'm still iffy about.
I don't mind it because it's about protect. They're trying to protect the catchers because the catchers take a beating all season long. JT Realmuto this year alone for the Phillies is taking a beating. But like how I look at it, it's like I like how they kind of say like determine how they try to determine what is blocking the plate. I'm like, well, what if the guy can't get to the base, then he's blocking the plate. But then again, what do you want the catcher to do? Let the guy have a path to the plate? And then if you're a base runner, you're like, well, if you're going to stand in front of me, there's only one thing between me and the plate, and it's you. So guess what?
Yeah.
Let's see whose bones are, let's see who's stronger.
Well,
It's
Sam,
just
it's yeah, it's it's insane. The insanity of it is a mess. It's a total mess. Baseball is an absolute mess right now. I mean, yes, okay, you've got a lot of these teams that are, the batters are benefiting from the clock. It's that simple. The offense is benefiting from the clock and not the defense. It's basically what it comes down to.
like the NFL.
And
Exactly.
and right. And right now, the people who are making out TV revenue, they're the ones making out because they know that, hey, it's going to be a specific time. There's no run over. We're good. It's like, nah, sorry. I mean, how much were you really losing, going into an extra 10, 15 minutes? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot at all.
So here's a good saying I'll leave you with. Offense, offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. In baseball, if you're like, say you're ESPN, right? If you're ESPN, what do you want to watch? You want to go watch the Yankees and just for the Orioles in a 10-9 ball game, or do you want to see Corbin Burns beat Garrett Cole in a 1-0 shutout? They're going to want the 10-9 games. It's going to give them offense, and people are going to tune into it. I, for one, would love to see Corbin Burns and Garrett Cole go at each other.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love pitchers duels. Actually, in Bryce's game tonight, they pretty much about had that.
yeah.
It was only a 4-1 game. It was super close the whole damn time.
Yeah.
It was a good, and it was the ace pitchers, according, to the other squad. They're like, yeah, there was their ace pitcher too. It's like, all right, well, coach threw our big guy out there, threw Bryce out there, he threw Hunter out there. Is like, hey, he threw a couple of aces at him. It was a hell of a game. Coach even said it's a good game.
So you're saying that it was some dueling aces?
Well caught, sir. Well caught.
I have my moments.
With that, thank you, Sam. Appreciate you jumping in. I know I wanted to tackle this bad boy, and I knew you were definitely the gentleman to have joined me. Appreciate it as always. You guys can catch Sam Birds of the Gridiron, like I said, 5:30 every Monday. Heavy on the Philly Eagles, and I know I will ask you another time on a couple of questions when I catch up with you next week. And for me, Sam, have a good night. We'll catch you on the flip side, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate it. As always, we'll catch you next week, hopefully with some healthy crew off the IL list.
Whatever
See y'all later. You are right.